Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala wasallam had said that those who consider Dajjal as the Messiah are Jews. The Jews have spent many centuries waiting for him. Today, a calendar of the Jews has come out, which they also call the God calendar or Khudai calendar. That calendar has been running for 5,077 years now. In other words, it is about 5,000 years old, and the Jews are still following that date. They consider this date to be the most glorious date, because the number 7 comes 3 times. This date was marked in their old books, and from that time they have been engaged in great preparations. If I were to speak on the topic of Jews in detail, many days would pass. Whatever they have done today to keep the whole world in their grip, to make all of humanity wear the garb of their slavery, is far beyond our thinking. We do not have the time to read and listen to all of these things. They have kept us busy in games, kept us busy fighting with one another, and they have not even given us the time to think. Time is not given. The Jews are waiting for their Messiah, waiting for the arrival of Dajjal, and their wait is about to end. The holy books, which are heavenly books, even if abrogated, still contain references in the Torah and the Talmud. The Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Bible all mention, according to their words and verses, that the time of Dajjal's arrival is very near. Dajjal is considered a kafir in the eyes of the 3 great religions of the world: Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Both Christians and Muslims agree that Dajjal is a kafir. Only the Jews consider him their Messiah. Their elders have given predictions of what must be done in the world before the arrival of that Messiah, and they are making preparations accordingly. Now you must understand why the Jews are interfering so much and why they are infiltrating the whole world. They have been told that when their Messiah comes, the whole world will have to serve them as slaves, and they will have to be protected everywhere. Their government will be established when their Messiah descends. I have read many signs from there. I have the Bible with me, and many things are written there. The Jews were given the good news that their Messiah would descend when all the Jews gathered in Israel. That is, when they returned to this holy land. They began this work of gathering 70 years. After that, they were given another prophecy. When the fig tree begins to bear fruit in their country, then their Messiah is about to come. You must be thinking that I am saying many things that are different from general speech. I am doing this only because we are about to step into a new year, and it is my responsibility to alert us about what the new year may bring. I did research regarding the fig tree, and found that for about 1800 years fig trees had not grown in the land of Israel and Palestine. But now in both Palestine and Israel, fig trees have started growing in abundance and bearing fruit. In one of their prophecies it is also written in the Bible, when the fig trees in your land begin to bear fruit, your Messiah will be standing at your door. I was very surprised and happy after reading this text. How much truth there is in it. Only God knows best. Apart from this, it was also told to the Jews that when a cow in their land gives birth to a red calf, and that red calf must be such that no one has owned it, no one has made it work, then while it is still young, they must sacrifice that red calf and place its ashes in a great holy place of worship. When this happens, their Messiah will come down. This too is written in their book. You might be thinking that the red calf is just a cow's red calf. The latest news is that a red calf has indeed been born in Israel, and they are protecting it. Yesterday I saw this news reported by a Christian scientist, a great scholar, who regularly gives updates on his website. I am not sharing his news with 100% certainty. I am only trying to draw your attention closer to the matter. The birth of the red heifer is well known. Everyone is aware of it except those who are busy with TikTok. The rest, who are interested in Islam, history, or global updates, also know what is happening in Israel. The red heifer has been born, she is being protected, and yesterday the news came that she has already been sacrificed. It is another matter, however, that she was not offered in sacrifice according to their full rituals. Now listen to the third good news. When will this Dajjal appear? When will their Messiah come? This is not our Messiah. For the Jews he may be a Messiah, but for us he is Dajjal, the greatest fitna. In his last sign it is mentioned that their Abedat Khana house of worship was destroyed, and when it is rebuilt, then the end will begin. It is written in the Christian book that the Messiah will descend from the sky. The mention of descending from the sky may refer to Isa, but in the case of Dajjal there is no mention of him descending from the sky or rising from the earth. It is only said that he will be revealed. Now what is that Abedat Khana which was demolished? This has a very long history. Today, where Baitul Muqaddis and Masjid al-Aqsa are located, it is found in tradition that the original structure was built by Sayyiduna Suleiman, alayhi salatu wassalam. Hazrat Dawood, alayhi salam, began its construction, and his son Hazrat Suleiman, alayhi salam, completed it. This is also mentioned in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Ahzab, that Allah Ta'ala had assigned the jinn to help build Masjid al-Aqsa. Next to Masjid al-Aqsa there was a great temple, a huge fort. Hazrat Suleiman, alayhi salam, made it the Darul Khalafa of his rule, that is, the parliament of that time. For the Jews of that time it became the central place of worship. Earlier Jews were not allowed to worship everywhere. They had to worship only in sacred places. This is a special blessing of the Ummah of Mustafa Sulay. Allah has given us permission to worship wherever the land is pure. But for the Jews it was not so. They had to worship only at that sacred place. This temple was called Haikali Sulaymani, the Temple of Solomon, built by Hazrat Suleiman, alayhi salam. The Jews, however, have always been a flawed and rebellious nature. They have been involved in killing, and they killed countless prophets. Many prophets, as mentioned in the Holy Quran, were martyred by them. When their disobedience grew beyond limits, Allah sent upon them a cruel and oppressive king, who destroyed them completely and laid waste to Babylon. He was the king of Iraq, and he destroyed everything, including the Temple of Suleiman. He demolished it thoroughly and left behind only a few walls. The Jews were massacred, and several hundred years passed. After that, a king of Iran who turned out to be sympathetic to them, known also as Khusro, rebuilt the Jews' temple. Thus, this temple, which is called their Holy Temple in English, was reconstructed once again. Several hundred years passed. Then a king named Hercules, also known as Rak al-Azam, who was a Christian, attacked the Jews and destroyed their temple. He destroyed it so completely that not even a single brick was left. Everything was demolished. Many rare and sacred items were also lost, such as the coffin of Sakina mentioned in the Quran. The prophets had a box, and Hazrat Musa alayhi salam also had it. In it was kept the staff of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, along with the belongings of many prophets. The Bani Israel used to carry that box with them into every war. Whenever they had to fight, they would take this box, called the coffin of Sakina, and pray, and Allah would grant them victory. That coffin, too, was destroyed and disappeared during the time of Hercules. Everything was destroyed in his era. Thus, the temple was demolished for the second time. Keep this in mind. The temple of Haikali Sulaymani was built twice and demolished twice. After that, centuries passed until the blessed time of Rasul Kareem sallallahu ta'ala wasalam, when Baitul Muqaddas was his Qibla. Later, during the caliphate of Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu, this holy mosque was liberated, and since then Masjid al-Aqsa has remained a holy place for the Muslims. From the time of Hazrat Umar Farooq until today, it has been sacred for Islam. Yes, at one time Christians captured it, but then Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi rahmatullah alayhi liberated Masjid al-Aqsa again. From then until today, Muslims have protected it. But what about the temple that was destroyed? What about Haikali Sulaymani that was demolished twice? Now listen carefully. In their proverbs it is written that when they rebuild their sacred place of worship for the third time, then their Messiah will come. Go and check your newspapers or search the internet, and you will find news about the third temple. Recently, Israel has even announced that they are going to build the third temple. And what is this third temple? It is none other than Haikali Sulaymani, the same temple for which they have been killing Palestinians for the last 70 years. digging countless tunnels beneath Masjid al-Aqsa. Now I come quickly to another important matter, the incident of Haikali Suleimani. The Jews have announced in their newspapers that they have also discovered the coffin of Sakina, which was missing, and they claim to have found the place where it once stood. Now, according to them, they know the exact location of the Temple of Suleiman. Let me also remind you of an agreement. When Israel was formed as a state, an agreement was signed with Arab countries. According to this agreement, the Jews could live wherever they wanted in Israel, but they would not touch Beitul Muqaddas and would not stop Muslims from going there. They signed this agreement themselves, thinking that Beitul Muqaddas was one thing and their Temple of Suleimani was another. But now, through their research, they claim to have discovered that the Tomb of the Rock, the golden dome of Masjid al-Aqsa, known as Qubata Sakra, is actually the exact spot where the Temple of Suleiman once stood. For them, this has now become extremely important. That is why they have announced their intention to demolish the Dome of the Rock, the yellow dome of Masjid al-Aqsa, and rebuild their temple in its place. And one more thing, listen to this fourth prophecy. The place where Masjid al-Aqsa is situated, Jerusalem, is central to all of these events. I am presenting these matters so that you may understand. Many people only look at these issues from a legal or political perspective, but the reality is far deeper. Whoever has spoken about the Jews has been murdered or killed. I repeat this again and again. I do not care about it, but at the same time I do care, because I must hand over this trust of knowledge to the community of Mustafa. It means that knowledge should not be hidden. Fourthly, another important news has come regarding them. When will their Messiah, the Dajjal, appear? It has been said that when the center of their rule will be in Jerusalem, then their Messiah will descend. Until recently, Jerusalem was not the capital city of Israel. But you must have heard that last year the US President Trump announced the closure of the American embassy in Tel Aviv and moved it to Jerusalem. Obviously, an embassy is located in the capital city of a country, so when all the embassies of the world were shifted to Jerusalem, this was a clear announcement that Jerusalem had become the center of government for the Jews. In fact, in 2019, it was officially declared that Jerusalem would now be the capital of Israel. And in their own scriptures, it is written that the moment Jerusalem becomes their Darul Khilafah, their seat of government, their Messiah is about to come. I have already mentioned many signs. The red calf has been born, the design of the third temple has been prepared, and its model has been shown on the internet. I myself searched and found that if you look at Google Maps of the area where Beitul Muqaddas stands today, the masjid has been removed, and in its place the image of the third temple has been inserted. The actual building has not yet been constructed, but its blueprint has been presented to the whole world. These Jews are not afraid of anyone now because they have influence over the kings of every Arab country. Almost every Arab ruler has become their puppet. They are confident that no voice will rise from the Muslims because they have bought them all. You may not even know this, but in the houses of almost every Muslim king, those who are today known as leaders of the Islamic world, there are Jewish women. Their wives are of Jewish descent and of strong character. The signs of the arrival of Dajjal that were foretold have almost all come into existence. And listen carefully to one hadith of Rasul Karim, sallallahu. There is a river called Tabriz, which flows between Israel and Palestine. The Prophet said that when the river of Tabriz dries up, Dajjal will appear. Today, only 2.5 feet of water is left in that river. Just 2.5 feet remain. Now, are all these signs not enough to wake up the Muslims? Yet, even today we are sleeping in a deep slumber of ignorance, as if we know nothing. Azizene Girami, sacrifice yourselves for the words of my Master sallallahu ta'ala was. There has never been anyone who informed us about the future except him. Whatever Muhammad Rasulullah told us is the ultimate truth. Rasul Karim has informed us of events until the day of judgment with such clarity that not a single doubt can be raised about them. And yet, despite this, his ummah has become the biggest victim of negligence, while the entire world The other communities are preparing. Christianity is preparing, the entire Jewry is preparing. And you know that now they will build the third temple. They will build it. And for this, Masjid Aqsa will have to be martyred. Baitul Muqaddas will have to be destroyed. This is the fear. If the governments do not raise their voices, then the Muslim community will rise, because Muslims have not died yet. Faith is still alive. This is the concern. For this reason, Masjid Aqsa will not be directly attacked. Pick up the newspapers of 2018 and see an English Christian exposed them, revealing that there were reported earthquakes in Palestine, specifically in Masjid Aqsa and Jerusalem. Earthquakes, 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 earthquakes. But upon investigation, it was found that these were not natural. They brought artificial earthquakes through technology. In reality, there was no earthquake at all. By inserting certain chemicals and materials underground, they shook the ground artificially so that the whole world would believe that an earthquake had occurred, and in this way Masjid Aqsa collapsed. Baitul Muqaddas collapsed. This is all part of their planning. My dear brothers and sisters, these Jews are making so many arrangements for their Messiah. They are preparing the field, completing all the groundwork for his arrival. Their orders spread across the entire world. The Jewish scholars have assigned them one major task, that except for the Jewish community, the religion of every other community in the world must be changed. For this purpose, every American president who has come to power has openly declared in their speeches the concept of the One World Order or New World Order. You may or may not have heard this before, so investigate it yourself. The meaning of the New World Order is simple. In America's vision, the whole world should have one religion. The world should have one nationality. There should not be different communities, different colors, different clothes, or different race. To implement this New World Order, even the idea of a civil court in India was being pushed forward. All of this is part of the same agenda. And what do you think, that those people sitting on thrones above us, who appear like mere tea sellers, are truly independent? In reality, they are slaves of the Jews. They are promoted directly by Israel and are working to implement their plans. Among these plans is to make the whole of India cashless. I told you about this earlier as well, to remove physical cash completely, to keep only ATMs functioning. No one would be able to hold real money anymore. Do you know why? Because the government already has all your details through Aadhaar. Every single person has made an Aadhaar card. We too made them, giving away our fingerprints, our eye scans, our personal information. All of this has been taken, and then all our bank accounts were linked with Aadhaar. Now the government can deactivate your account any day it wishes. If you do not obey them, if you do not follow their instructions, your account can be deactivated immediately. And then what will you do? All your wealth has been stored in the bank. These are methods of enslavement. Believe what we are saying, otherwise you will die of hunger and be left with nothing. And this too has been mentioned in Hadith. Rasul Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that near the day of judgment, a time will come when people will eat the flesh of other people. When asked why this would happen, he replied, because people will no longer have wealth to buy good. Not having money, people will eat each other. This is in the Hadith and it is being implemented today. Perhaps all this will be fully implemented in the coming years. A chip has been invented in Australia, most likely called IRF. It is a form of cryptocurrency or a memory card, equal in size to a small grain of rice. It is inserted into the hand through an injection, and all your details are stored in it. Your documents, your property, your identity, your account details, everything. Wherever you touch any screen, all your details will appear. Through this you can buy anything. You can purchase goods by simply touching the screen with your thumb anywhere in a mall. This entire identity will be stored inside that grain of rice-sized chip. Today, this cryptocurrency has already been implemented in many companies in Australia. The world is heading quickly toward these situations. Do you know why? Because after a few years, the entire world will be enslaved. All the people will have to do only what the rulers command, and our rulers will in turn do only what their masters order them to do. Aziza Jirami Wakar, the poet, had told us this long ago. Get up. If you don't, there will be no end. Then when you run later, the world will already be gone. We must wake up now. If we remain asleep under the shadow of negligence until the end, then we will be buried in dust. All these glad tidings were given about the arrival of Dajjal, who will turn the entire order of the Almighty upside down. The Jews have tried hard to change the religion of everyone. They have been working for years and have brought technology into the world that makes it easy to manipulate nature when it will rain, when plants will grow from the ground. All this technology is already here. These are the days of Dajjal. There is no doubt now. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said that Dajjal will perform extraordinary acts. He will kill a person instantly, bring the dead back to life, and show miracles like producing children in new ways. Today we see technology already making such things possible. The paths for his arrival are being prepared. The ground is being cleared for Dajjal. When Dajjal descends, the Jews will be in his army. He will create destruction across the world. In 40 days he will roam nearly the entire globe. The holy books say he will stay in the world for 7 years. In half of that time his mission will be to destroy Islam and Muslims. All governments will support him in this. The remaining 3.5 years will come when Imam Mahdi will have appeared and Hazrat Isa as will also descend. They will confront him, defeat him, and finish. This is for later, but important to know. The community of Jews is preparing with all their strength for their Messiah. Building the third temple was not an easy task, but they prepared every project for it. They even made a special coin for entry into it. I saw it myself. Whoever enters the temple must use that coin. It is a gold or silver coin with an image of the third temple inscribed on it. Whoever has that coin will insert it and go inside. These are preparations, all preparations for their Messiah. But what preparations are we making for our own Messiah? Do we love our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than they love their false one? Yet we are not even ready to give up a single sin for the hope of meeting our Prophet. Should we not believe that when he blesses us, he can grant his vision to every single member of his ummah? Seeing Rasul Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not impossible, but what deeds are we doing today in waiting for him? Those Jews are roaming the entire world for the arrival of one Dajjal, while the Ummah of Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, knowing that even if I shed tears today, the Prince of Medina will come restlessly to my home. Still, we spend our entire nights on mobile applications, playing games, gossiping, backbiting, and engaging in meaningless chatter. The warnings about the coming years I have told you. It is your duty to be alert. Your duty to be warned. If you do not take care, then remember what Allama Iqbal said long ago. If you do not take care, you will be destroyed. O Muslims of India, even your story will not remain. When history is written, your story too will be ended.